Hi, Army. It's Heidi Allen, founder of the Positive People Army. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday to everyone. I mean, you all know how much I love Sundays. One of my favorite days. One of the biggest reasons why it's one of my favorite days is because it's the pink post-it of inspiration. It's that moment at the beginning of the week where we all embrace who we are. We all embrace the challenges we're going through, and we all embrace the human beings we want to be. So this week, I want to talk about, and only because I've been a part of something where I'm learning stories. I'm learning about people where we're not exactly what our circumstances are. And what I'm talking about here is how there are so many things that happen to all of us, so many experiences that all of us have. And in those moments, we can choose. We have a choice. Are we going to be a victim in this particular moment, or are we going to be victorious? So our pink post-it, this is a really powerful one this week, Army. This is really powerful only because I know for myself, I'm experiencing this with so many other individuals in life, but it's in this moment, we're going to let go of being the victim of our life, and we're going to be victorious. Because we get a choice as to what we're going to do. And it's really funny. It's like I thought about today this really strange thing, but I have this honey locust tree in my backyard. I have this beautiful honey locust tree that I planted 9 years ago. This honey locust tree came to me in a 5-gallon pot. So I want you to all think about your life that you are rooted in just a 5-gallon pot. And in that 5-gallon pot, you can so easily stay there and be so comfortable. My honey locust tree could have sat in that 5-gallon pot and had a life in that pot, and stayed the size that it was, and stayed exactly what that tree was in that 5-gallon pot. And that is in a moment where we're the victim. We're the victim. We're going to stay in that place of I am the victim of my circumstances. I am the victim of my experiences. And I'm going to stay in that 5-gallon pot. But guess what? I took that tree out of that 5-gallon pot and I planted it in the ground. And in that moment that my tree was planted in the ground, it had every opportunity. It had every experience. It had choices to spread its roots and grow and become this ginormous tree that exists in my backyard. This honey locust tree gives so much shade and beauty that it's actually awe-inspiring when people come into my yard and they're like, "You didn't plant that tree." I'm like, "I planted that tree 9 years ago, and look at it." So I want you to think about every single time you're sitting there and you're playing the victim in your life, you are sitting in your 5-gallon pot. Army, we don't belong in 5-gallon pots. We don't. We belong in the ground to spread our roots, to spread what we are as human beings. And that's what I want you all to do in these moments that you're sitting there. So Heidi, okay, I'm not going to stay in my 5-gallon pot. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get out of these circumstances that I'm in? Okay, number one, Army, number one that I want you to start looking in your life. Are you blaming or are you blooming? I want you to start recognizing every time you blame something else in your life, because then you put yourself in that 5-gallon pot every single time. And I used to do this with my kids all the time when they were growing up, and they would come home and I'd say, what happened here? How do you feel about this mark on your test? Well, Mom, I could have done better, but my teacher and this, and I'm like, we don't blame here. We own it and we bloom. So let's go back and start that conversation again, and let's really talk about what happened. So I want you to do the same thing. I want you to start recognizing, am I blaming situations in my life, or am I growing and blooming like that honey locust tree in my backyard? I want you to start recognizing that. The next thing I want you to do is start surrounding yourself with amazing people. If you're in a place of negativity, if you're surrounding yourself by negative people on a regular basis, you're staying in the 5-gallon pot. You're staying there. Find people that inspire you. Find people that motivate you. Find people that believe in you. Number one, the Army's going to do that. We're there. Done. You just found your people. Tap into this and do that. Because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start asking for help. If you're in a place where you're like, I think I am in the 5-gallon pot and I am the victim, then reach out and ask for some help. I want you to 100% ask for help. The next, I want you to start trusting in yourself. You know, like that moment, it's like you have this feeling inside of you and you know you're supposed to do something bigger. You know you're supposed to be bigger and better and fantastic. Believe it and trust it. Again, reach in and ask for that help again. I want you to reach out and ask for that. Because honest to God, if you stay in that 5-gallon pot, no one knows that you're there unless you ask for help. Unless, like my honey locust tree in my backyard, if it wasn't for me planting it in the ground, it never would have grown to the beautiful tree that it is. See, you need that help. And the next thing I want you to do is I want you to start looking for good situations. I want you to create amazing situations in your life that are going to be amazing and wonderful and inspire you to be the person that you are. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. How we started in this life, that's not important. None of that is important. It's actually how we finish this journey that's important. What are you going to make of it? Because just because you've come from a bad family life, just because you've come from a trauma, just because you've had an illness or several illnesses, it doesn't matter what it is. You can keep yourself in your 5-gallon pot, which is your family situation, your illness, your circumstances, whatever it is, or you can ask for help, you can get out of that 5-gallon pot, and you can become the person that you are and be victorious. So, Army, let go of the victim and become victorious. It is your choice. Every single day, this is your choice. 100% it is your choice. Again, it's not how you started this journey. It's how you're actually going to finish it. And guess what? We're going to do it together. All of us are going to do this together. Army, I adore you. Happy Sunday. Let go of the victim, guys. Let's be victorious. Have a great Sunday, everyone.